So I think speaking Japanese is not easy. It's like one is you learn the language, like vocabularies and grammars, but those perfecting the language isn't enough to really speak Japanese. Like you say, hey, what's up? Then you change to Japanese, konnichiwa, genki. That's like foreigners speaking Japanese, and it's really just a translation of language, and it doesn't have the spirit of the language, like it doesn't sound like you're really speaking from your heart. So the second part is very challenging but very important. Second part is to perform the Japanese way of things, or act the way the other people are acting. So for example, in Japanese, for me, I would say when you contact new person and you want to say your thing, you want to communicate and deliver what you want to say, first you have to say 3 times of sorry, and then 1 time of thank you for the person to be in front of you at the time, and then it's not still you don't get to the point yet, and then you have to manage the conversation in a way that you're putting yourself lower than the other person that you're talking to. You develop this structure, you develop the relation, and convince that you are lower, your position is lower than you, and then you talk like very sorry, like I'm not good enough and I shouldn't be saying this, and this situation isn't really the most convenient situation, but however you're very kind that you take time to be here for me, and I really thank you for that you're especially kind for yourself to arrange to be here. And I once again apologize for this inconvenience and the way that I'd have to say, but then I'm sorry, but I would like to evacuate from this room, like that, something like that. So simple, but then you'd have to build a long sentence, and it's not that you only have to build a long sentence, but you have to perform, you have to act like the other Japanese to convince that you mean, what you say. So speaking language involves a lot of actings, and it made me feel like so difficult to speak Japanese and convince that I am saying from my heart. But then recently I met a girl, young girl, like 19, who's been living in a different country, and she also speaks Japanese. But the way she speaks Japanese, she behaves very shy. And she told me she's not really shy, but she found this shyness is like how Japanese people are acting, and she just copied the way they act. So she appears like she's shy. That's her way of speaking Japanese. She's copying the attitude also. And because she lived in a different country, she also lived in a Middle East, where you have to be very assertive and a little bit angry, and and strong. You have to say things very strong, aggressive. And she lived there, so she know how to talk like a Middle East people. Or in the United States, perhaps she would behave very friendly, very easygoing, and speak about everything. Like American people, I believe they have to speak out for whole thing that they seen. That's my understanding. Like they are very talkative. And so speaking language involves all this acting. And I think that could be more convincing, more than the. But I still think speaking Japanese is a little difficult. Speaking Chinese is, in a way, language itself could be very difficult. They have all kinds of vocabularies that's much more than Japanese, I believe, with all the Chinese characters and everything. But because it construct of different minorities, minority races, different type of people, it doesn't consist with just one Chinese, but it has all the minorities, and it's like United States. It's just a combination of all kinds of different people that they all speak Chinese, Mandarin, so it's kind of international language. You can be the way you are and use the Mandarin to communicate. Yeah, I used to feel this is really troublesome. I could never get really used to this system. But then the girl showed me that you don't have to really go through all this step of saying sorry for 3 times, but instead you can appear like shy. There are another kind of Japanese that they are shy, and that's a little easier. You don't have to say sorry and everything. Just behave you're shy. You're shy, so you don't talk. When the other person asks you something, and then you start to reply a little bit, 1 word, 2 words, the other person may ask you more, you reply a little more. Like you try to convince the person that you're slowly opening up yourself. So like more they ask you a question, more you can reply, and it will convince the other person that because they're trying hard to communicate with you, so you open up and become friendly, and then you can skip all that process.